Hi guys, I am ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is our this is our new mining hill here in the Republic of Cornoe, and yeah, we're hoping to really boost our coal production by providing more coal ore, which is what this is all about. Now, all of this is underway. It'll take us probably a couple of episodes to get the bulk of it done. But what I did think we could do is we could have a look at this first one. Well, actually, we could make a start on this one, and this one would be active as well. So let's see about signing a bit of construction to this guy, and we can also get the helicopters in there. So let's get started on some construction activities on a mine so that we could potentially make use of it. Now, a few other things will be necessary. We've planned out this additional rail track, which we're not going to use in the first instance. What we will be trying to do is provide this kind of access, and I do think we are starting construction. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to pay for this so that we can effectively start construction on all of these items. I think I think I've already done it, to be honest. Let's make a start on all of this stuff here, and then we need to make a start on that one as well, but I guess that'll have to wait a little bit longer. Now, what we also need to do have a look at the heating here. We have about 40% of the capacity left. The capacity is 300. So let's give or take probably a little bit more, maybe 120, 125 cubic meters of water is available. So let's see about providing some access here. So there's a few things that we have access to here. Where is our closest shopping center? Down here. So definitely we should have access to most things in here. So let's give ourselves a little bit additional cluster of things that we can construct on. Now, I'm thinking we probably just do a bit more of the same, or do we do something a little bit different? Do we grab housing that's going to look a little bit different to that cluster over here? Now, we could do some of these ones. Let's see if maybe there's something else that jumps out at us. So we want a slightly more modern style. And we want it reasonably sized, but maybe not too big. Maybe if we do a little cluster of these guys, these 185s. Let's have a quick look. There's a super huge one over here, right? This is like massive. Yeah, massive. Absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, maybe at some point we'll do. Whoa, it actually fits in here. Well, we can't deal with that. But wow, maybe at some point we'll do something like that as a bit of a monument somewhere. At the moment, we want something that makes a bit more sense for us. We want a reasonable quality. Yeah, so this 90 is about right. I think. I mean, it doesn't have to. It shouldn't all look the same, and I guess that's what we're trying to do, right? We want it to be. We want it to look a little bit more reasonable. Okay, so let's see. We obviously have a path that can run up here. So let's place one there as a starting point. And now it's saving something. We'll give it a neighbor. Okay, so we've got like that. Wow, it is starting to slow down a little bit, which bothers me a bit, actually. So if we did kind of one here as well, and I didn't see. Do we know what the sizing is of that? Oh, hang on, is it in there? Water tank is 12. Okay, 12 means we can do maybe 10 of them. Okay, fine. Maybe 10 of them. Plus, it's shared between two, so we may be able to do a little bit more. I'm gonna offset this one a little bit here. And then I'm also going to do a couple like this. And so we'll kind of leave the corners open. So for a bit more, some other stuff like in the gardens. like. So if we try and offset in here again, I guess that, broadly speaking, works. Plus, we're grabbing hold of another option. So the only one just want to double check if we've got access to water is this one. Yes, we do. All of them have access to water. So let's do that as a bit of a cluster. It's an interesting shape. It's maybe not the the ideal shape. It's certainly not the most efficient, but I guess it doesn't always. I'm gonna do something like this and run it here. I'm gonna do something like, we actually need to double split this. If we do that, run it down there, tie it in there, that's good. And if we do, okay, then did we need, let's think about it for a minute. I'm thinking we probably just run it here. We'll run it there. And what we'll do is we'll tie it in over here. So let's do that, and we can tie that in. And it should be able to give access to pretty much everything. Plus, I'm also pretty keen on just kind of linking these guys up a little bit. So if we go out there, right, they're on the different sides of the pathway. But anyway, that's okay. What we need to do, is there anything else that I'm going to need in this area? Let's have a quick think about that. Let's have a quick look. We have a hospital, right? This is a hospital. This is a circus or entertainment. This is a kindergarten. This is a school. I'm pretty sure this school should be accessible over here. Yeah. We've got some more activities. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same as that. So what we maybe don't have, unless this is class as sport, I can't remember. And we've got the shop on this side. We'll obviously run the path through here so that we can give everybody the reasonable access. And we've got that access there, and then we've got some other room here. I guess we can close the loop. Yeah, I guess we can close the loop. So let us run this guy like so, and then tie it in like that. And we'll tie this one in like so. And I'm going to go ahead and pay for the paths. Right, and then we'll get the the crews to start construction, right? So that should be all good. So in terms of construction, I'll do paths again, right? So we'll do this and that, this, that, this, that one, this one, and this one. And I'll pay for those paths again. They don't have lights on them. That's okay. So now construction activities can effectively start over here. And we're already... What is this? Look at this. It is weird, to say the least. It is weird. But anyway, that's a big chunk of additional... It's about almost 200 per... So it's about, say, 600, 1,200. Maybe drop 100 or so. So we'll add... Yeah, it's a bit more than 100. So it's about 1,500 people that can move into there, and they'll have, I guess, pretty reasonable access to go and work those mines. So I guess that's the plan. They will have access to all of this. So I think as this pops in, look at how many people are walking here. This is crazy. Wow. They should all have access. Okay, beautiful. That's really good. And from the school, double check that all have access. That's actually planned so well. Everybody's got good access to most of the things they need. We can obviously always double check some other bits and pieces, but yeah, absolutely access to everything. This layout is working really well with this setup over here. And eventually, I think we will have a lot of people down here able to access the train station. But for now, the idea is to try and fill up this guy so that we can start working some mines up here. So mine construction is starting. So that's pretty good. Okay. That is looking good. We can continue the journey. I'll chuck out a few of these things so we can see some new things come in. We need to look at a little bit more infrastructure. So what we do have here is we actually have all infrastructure already going. We need to just double check that we are in fact building the infrastructure to get to to some of these places. We did build, yeah, we did plan out this connection through here. It's tying in like that. I'm not super happy with it, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. And then ultimately we'll come across here with both those two roads, maybe a roundabout, or maybe even I don't know, maybe we'll have the roundabout on this side and then tie it in over here, or maybe we'll run that around and have this something over here, but it's pretty good. That's okay. I don't mind it. It's probably just stuck over here or another location with similar features. We can have a look at that. Okay, let's quickly just jump into our utilities ever so quickly. So if we drop down, yeah, we can see we've already planned out, for the most part, planned out where these things need to go to allow us to reasonably serve this area. So all we need to do is just make sure that we are starting construction on some of these things. I guess we can start construction over here. We do need to probably start a rail construction in a few locations as well. So probably the rest of this rail track needs to start its process of construction. This is a station that we'll need to start construction on. There's a lot going on over here. This is coming along nicely in terms of construction. So there's a lot happening, guys. We've got so much construction activities that we really can't stop. So why are people unhappy? Where is that? Let's quickly do a quick look, just because I haven't done this in quite a while. Let's have a quick look at happiness. So we've got pretty low happiness over here. Why would that be? Out of water or something? Eating is good, water is good. So why would you not be happy? I mean, you seem to have everything you need. Is clothing dropping a little bit low? I don't think so, actually. So why would you not be happy? Let's grab one of these people and just have a bit of a look. So this person, I can't really get a reason. Average productivity is good. Why are you? It's an interesting one. I find this interesting. There must have been something wrong here for a little bit. And it only recently started getting better. Right here in the middle, is there maybe something here that's not... Workers can't access kindergartens. Okay, so that's something. Are there any other remnants of problems? I can't see any. So we might need another kindergarten, right? That's okay. We can build another kindergarten. Probably even just over here would be a good spot for it. So we might add a kindergarten over here. That will help things along a fair bit. So let's quickly do that. But I'm a little... Is waste not waste? Nothing is backing up, right? Yeah, so I'm very surprised. I'm quite surprised by it. Might have been a blip on an access to food or something. Yeah, quite surprised by that. Okay, let's pop in here. Let's get a kindergarten. I guess I try and build fairly large, right? So what are we looking at? This is another 180, another 270. I think the large ones probably the more appropriate option if you can squeeze it in. I just want to make sure. I mean, I don't want to do it like that. It feels awkward. If we do it like this, yeah, it's too big. It's not going to fit. So let's go with the smaller option. We'll do a bit of a squeeze right here. We should be able to get the path to go on both sides. Alternatively, we corner it on this side. I don't think that's appropriate, though. I like leaving the corners open, so I like to do a bit of a 45-degree angle on the path, so that we've got these corners where we've got some trees and statues and the likes in there. So that's kind of part of the plan. So what we'll do is we'll come across here. We'll come across like this, right? And I guess what we'll do is we'll come across like that. So we could maybe do a little bit of a cluster of things here. So that path should, in reality, connect onto this pretty nicely. At the same time, what I'll do is I'll run a path through here, and we'll tie it in on this side and on that side. Yeah. What we'll also do is forget about that path. Let's go with the normal asphalt. So here, here, and there. That's pretty cool. I like it. We'll pay for all the paths. That's okay. We've got the money to accommodate that payment. And then the rest of this would start constructing. I did not check to see if this has access to everything. So if we quickly double check that again. Yeah, should be more than easily accommodating everything. And we can do some nice parks in between here. I'm actually quite keen on the idea of doing way more park and greenery in between buildings. Like this. I mean, you don't need to fill it up. You can squeeze something in if you need to, if you forgot something, if you're missing a police station or something. It helps quite to do that. But I guess the idea is to just kind of give everything in there so that it's slowly go on. Yeah, go ahead. Now let's go back to this. So, what is this guy on about? Again with the very low. I guess there was an issue here, water or something, right? I think we were out of water here for a while. Let's go over this side. Here we have 61, which I'm also not keen on. And I guess this might have been part of the water issue. Let's have a quick look here. Workers can't because of the low education. Children can't go to school because all the schools are inaccessible. So we need a school here. Okay, so that's something that is important that we'll quickly have a look. And the rest seems pretty reasonable. 5 couldn't get good food, but I don't think that is really an issue. Where is our local food supply? It will be here. Maybe a bit small to kind of deal with the demand. So that's obviously why we'll need a new shopping center. I guess probably in this spot, right? Here will be really good. But of course, what we've gone and done is built this thing, sewage tank in the middle of that. So my thinking was probably I'm going to go around it. But anyway, we'll see. There should be room somewhere here for a shopping center. Now, the first thing I think we want to do is get a school in place. So let's quickly have a look at that. I'll keep the game going because we've got so much stuff happening. So let's just speed it up as well while we do it. And let's grab a bit of a school here. I guess what we'll do. Yes, I'm keen on. We don't necessarily need the big one, but the 360 is a reasonable size. The big one, we struggle to fit the big one anyway, just because it's so massive. Maybe this is the spot for the shopping center. We can put a really big shopping center in there, but I guess not the school. The school is too big. We, in the reality, probably need to do maybe a little bit of variation like this. This one will have access to all its requirements straight away, so we can start go and build it straight there. Let's do that, and let's supplement it with a small kindergarten, right? Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's supplement it with that. Grab that one there. We should be able to kind of squeeze both in here. Probably not exactly how I would like to do it, but I guess that should work. But if we do that, yeah, I think that's fine. It gives us a little bit of a slither there. It's a reasonably funky design there. So what we'll do is we'll do this one goes this way, right? So we'll do that, and then this one goes that way. Oh, I like it. I like this a lot. That's a pretty cool little pathing strategy that we've got going on over there. And to be honest, that one probably should have had lights on it. But that's okay. So that works. Kind of wondering whether we add an extra statue or something. Yeah, but anyway, we'll come back to those kind of things a little bit later. This can already go and grab construction activities. If we can probably get lesser construction to come and work on this as well. So that's okay. So we'll get a school up and running over there. So that will slowly sort out your happiness problem. You're also talking about issues. Ooh, food. And there was a water issue here as well. So I guess food-wise, you should be good, right? You have access to it. It's probably just a matter of this thing is too small for the capacity. So another shopping center in this area is quite important. Over here, you should have everything you need, right? Kindergartens are full. Okay, so we potentially need another kindergarten over here. Right, but we have one already over here, but apparently it's not good enough. That's interesting. So another small kindergarten right here next to the sewage, or potentially over here next to this one. Let's do that. Let's add another small kindergarten. I don't think we need anything else, but maybe just another small one. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to run it a little bit like this. I think it should have. It's reasonable. I mean, that shouldn't take too much effort. Let's do that. Pay for the little path, and we'll get kind of lesser construction to come and slowly work its way through there as well. Okay, so that's another piece that we need to give some a little bit of attention to. Hopefully, that does sort things out a little bit. Here we are. It's looking reasonable here in Satomic. We're not quite in the 90s, but we're in the 80s, and I guess that's par for the course at the moment. Over here, the original Cornoe inhabitants are super well served and very happy for the most part. Satomic is sorry, Vasistavi is dropping a little bit. So let's have a look. They I think also have some issues without a job. Yeah, I guess again it was more a matter of a heating crisis or something. So it's the remnants of old crises that we're dealing with. So I guess that's okay for the time being. Those few extra items we popped in should hopefully manage our demands a little bit more. Now we'll keep speeding along so construction does continue. We want to potentially make a start on some construction activities over here. So what I might do, right, just to think, keep things quite reasonable. What I might do is I might do a bit of a crossover a little bit deeper in here so that the guys can actually come in, do it, do a bit of a wait in this area. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll give it a little bit more room. Let's do a bit of a crossover right there. And we'll move it around a little bit. So let's pay for that. At the same time, I'm interested in paying for all of this. And I guess what we're after is we're after some big signals. Right? So it's this one and that one, right? And then we'll pay for that slither. And I'm after some. Well, actually, I'm just after a chain here, right? Chain on this side and block on that side. And I think what I'll do is I'll try and move this one a little bit forward. I think that should be fine. And then this one is a block and a chain again. So we'll block it there, and we'll chain it up here, and that should be sufficient. Let's get out of here. What I'll do is I'll pay for this little stretch over here, yeah, and then we'll get the crews to start working on that as well. So obviously that costs us money, and we don't want to spend a lot of it, but to try and facilitate the continuous construction of things, we do need to do these kind of things a little bit every now and again. I'm a little worried at the amount of workers that we're seeing over here, but we'll come and have a quick look at what's happening with all of our activities. Lots of rail construction activities underway at the moment, and I may have to add some extra track builders to the mix there. But for instances, let's make sure we're starting construction activities over here. So I think we've got some money around, and I think to try. Well, before we facilitate additional track builders, do we have enough workers actively coming in here? So our closest station is this one. It has just unloaded a bunch of people, I guess. Right. Yeah, here they come. For some reason, it didn't unload all. Let me have a quick look at this. Is this a lesser recycle? Yeah. So it's only allowed to unload 50% here. Okay. So what is this route? Basistavi construction industry workers has got 2 trains on the line. One of them apparently has an issue. No, it's not got an issue. 2 trains on the line, so I guess they're all coming from over here. This really does have workers most of the time. But this guy, yeah, this guy's not going to get, well, it rises pretty quickly. And then this guy, yeah, it's pretty good. And now there's enough again for another train. So when two of them are there, you might have a little bit of a chance of not quite getting the trains that you're or the workers that you're after. But for the most part, this guy should be fully loaded and leaving. I do wonder, and then this guy is getting a reasonable chunk. I guess maybe what I can do is I can look at these guys and just say load 80%. Because if I do that, we'll have a much bigger split. Right? If you load 80%, you're loading like 400 workers on each train, which I think just maybe a little bit more. I mean, we're so close. Maybe that lets this guy leave instead of waiting around. So I guess let's quickly have a look at all of these lines. Not necessarily that. I want to see the lines that's running through here. Okay, maybe that's not going to be. So we'll continue doing that. Let's have a look at the lines. We're looking at train lines, and we're looking specifically for passenger lines. No cargo passengers. Huh? No. 4 passengers. Okay. So, Canal District Line, no. Sasselgrad, no. Sithcol, no. No. All these Vasastavi ones. So let's pop them open. Okay, so we've got all the Vasastavi ones. I should be able to close all of this. So let's have a look at all of these Vasastavi ones. And I want to make sure what we're going to do is at the Vasastavi train platform, right? I'm just going to say load 80%, right? So we want to do that. At the Vasastavi platform, load only 80%, right? So I think this can serve them really well at 80% at the moment. We may add more people to it, but we need more infrastructure to be able to really get going. So there we've gone. We've gone and saved all of them. So I think what we'll see here, this guy is the first in here. It's going to load 80%. So that's whatever, almost 400. Yeah, 408. That's a good number. Still got another probably 408 ready for the next guy. Next guy can load its 408. I think this is a way better way of doing it. It's got its 408 and it's going. And now ready to almost load the next one again. I like this. This is really effective now. And I think we're going to get our 408. There we go. Okay, this one might have a little bit of trouble, but I think this works way better. What is this guy getting? Not quite. Not quite. And now this guy is probably going to be a little bit short also. What is it getting? Yeah, getting a little bit low. Okay, so I guess that was a really good move. They're a little bit on top of each other to really be served. We can't run any more trains in here, but maybe that slight balancing will help things out a little bit. Let's pop in here quickly to see how many workers we have. Let's see. Oh, we're just seeing a train pull in now. And again, it will only maybe drop 200 or so workers here anyway as a maximum. So this is happiness too low. I need to go and have a look at that. Oh, I guess Vasastavi. Why? What's going on? Drinking water. It's always drinking water. It's either heating or drinking water. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. So where is your water coming from? Your water is coming from... I think I know, right? Okay, let's have a look. This may very well be that this plant is out of chemicals. This is the issue, right? There's no... Because we're out of chemicals, we get this issue straight away. Right, so just... I need to have a... Let's quickly have a... Let's fill that up to see that is going to start producing again and people can get themselves a little bit happier. But and so let's drop it out now. I think now it should be okay. That should last a little bit longer. And if we pop out here, drinking water should now not be a problem, right? So it's a chemical issue. So let's quickly have a look. I guess, where do your chemicals come from? Atomic supply distribution. So let's pop on over there. Okay. So you get your chemicals over here. Chemicals, you are out, right? Because you're only really holding a tiny amount, right? Yeah. So this facility is really buckling under the pressure. So the new facility at on the new nuclear town will be a little bit better. So the plan would be this. Why do we have alcohol in here? Why? I'm gonna go with 0 on the alcohol, please. Let's do 0 on the alcohol, and then let's do 10% on this one. We need more chemicals in this area. And now we're a little bit lower, so let's go at least like 5% there, maybe 5% here, maybe 10% there. What? Oh, we're 2% over, are we? Okay, well then we're just gonna drop this down to 40, right? Now we're done. Okay, so that's gonna be the new numbers. I'll have to just dump all of that alcohol. So what I'll do is I'll just dump all of this alcohol. I know I can sell it and micromanage it out of here or something, but for the time being, let's dump it so that we can get chemicals to come in. We need more chemicals here. We need more of everything here. This thing is not quite sufficient. I think we could potentially squeeze an extra thing in here. Maybe let's have a quick look. Can we? I do wonder if that'll work. So let's quickly let's get it going. It's not the end of the world now. I think we've managed it. If we were to want to try and squeeze in a little bit of extra storage capacity, I actually think it's not impossible. Level-wise, it's starting to become a little bit of an issue there. But I guess what we can do here, but the problem is you won't be able to pick up on that side. So we'll have to do pickup or we could do another pickup option. Okay, I guess that one is a little bit too big. Maybe we'll just go with the intermediate one. This one certainly seems to be a lot more logical. We can really hug the tracks here. All right, if we did this. Okay, if we did that, right, I think this might be actually a reasonable. I want to try and test if we can resolve some of our issues here. So let's do that. Give ourselves a little bit of room there. And then I think the other thing we can certainly do is give ourselves a small road cargo pickup thing, right? Yeah, so I think this will work. Okay, so let's do that. We'll get it in there. We'll get our road connection to be smooth as we can get it. And we'll also get the cargo connection here. Work as well. That's perfect. Let's pay for that. I'm almost tempted to just build this little cluster to see if I can make it work. Oh, we're missing that. So we'll get that one in there as well. Let's build this, right? Let's build it. And I need to, as soon as it's finished, just stop it so we can have a quick look at what we can actually do here. Okay, pause it there for a second. It's not powered. I don't think it needs to be powered. We need to limit amounts. So what are we kind of holding here? And we'll need to move over the distribution. Okay. But I guess what we'll do is, yeah, let's quickly do that. So let's say, let's drop out chemicals. Let's make this one chemicals and what? Chemicals and electronics components. Okay, so what we don't want to do is the vehicles that are going to shops, right? They only take one thing at a time, really. Right? They're only taking one thing at a time, so it really doesn't matter. this one can do 550 tons of food. The other option is, right, maybe we just fill that one with food and clothing, right? Because that'll be about the same, and then the rest can just go here. I think, will that be better? Food and clothing is a busy one, but meat is still coming in through this one. The food and clothing. So maybe what we do is we food and clothing. I think food and clothing. Let's do that. Let's move food and clothing over here to make it simple. So we'll go with, let's quickly go in here. 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm going to go with 70% food and 30% clothing. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And we'll pop that in and we'll have a bit of a look. 165 and 385 compared to, yeah. That's very good. Now we'll go back in here, and now we're gonna go through this and say 0 there, 0 there. Now we've got tons of extra room. So let's do 20 there, 20 there, 10 there, 20 there, and 20 there. Right? Actually, with that in mind, we're short. Should we do 20, 20, 20, 20, 20? Would that be, or do we, I think what we do is we go 25, 24, actually, we go 25, 20, and we'll do it like that. Right? Perfect. So we'll leave the clothing in there for the time being. But now we should have a bunch more other stuff in here. So for now, we'll leave the clothing in there. But ultimately, what we need to do is we'll need to drop something from this list. Right? So hopefully, in lesser, Potomac, Susselgrad region, we can drop this out. Express Bistro. That doesn't. Yeah, with the delivery, directly delivering there. Let's quickly have a look. So if we keep this guy open, so let's quickly go over here. This is all, it's served by both these distribution facilities. Ooh, I don't like it. I do not like it at all. Okay, maybe that's not a smart idea then. It's Atomic. There's a warehouse. Vehicle repair. Vehicle repair. Oh, yeah. We need something that actually only asks for food. Ah, if it's only, ooh, but it's asking for meat as well. Again, this guy's only asking for meat. But only asking for orphanage. Yeah, I need to spend a little bit of time cleaning this up, actually. Chemicals. We obviously want this. Meat. Yeah, so we don't have anybody only looking for food. So Atomic warehouses should be served from over here. Ones who really we should be looking out for is maybe these guys. Cornoe Hills Goods Distribution is also sending some stuff over there. I don't think we can really, it's not quite. So the only ones I thought would be workable is Susselgrad. But Susselgrad is currently being served from over here. So what we need to do is we would need to serve Susselgrad from the other side. Let's pop over to Susselgrad, okay, which is this one. Oh, it's the closest one. It's the closest. It is the closest one, but can we serve it from this side? I think it's maybe a little tight, but I guess we can. We should be able to serve it from this side. We need more vehicles in here, though. But I think what we'll do is we'll add Susselgrad over here. We'll pop that one in there, right? So you're going to go ahead and serve whatever the requirements is over there, right? We need, grab us at least two more cupboards and one more refrigerator. Let's quickly bring them in. We need to end this episode as well. So grab me. Get this guy here. I can't do this, right? I can't assign it there, right? So, no, it's not. So grab me one of them, two of them. Ooh, one, two, and this is the refrigerator, right? So let's grab that. Go back over here. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll pop that one in there. Pop this one in here, and we'll pop this one in here, and hopefully that is going to be sufficient to kind of cover that a little bit. Then what I can do is I can drop this one from this side. I can probably drop it from both, to be honest. I hope it's going to be a fairly reasonable one. Okay, so I'll drop this one here, and what I'll do is I will add the other. Bit of a issue there. Okay, so it's still paused. I'll add that one. Go back over this one. It is a loading option for us. Okay. And then what we do is we need to sort of move it up. Need to do that. And then I go Cornoe crossing road cargo station. Then I just move it all the way up to right here, right? Yeah. Okay. And then let's do the same thing over here. I'm gonna drop all the way down to where do we have an extra slot? No, we don't. So what we're after is Susselgrad. Lots of Susselgrad activities here. Here we've got a little bit more going on in terms of Susselgrad prison, Susselgrad water treatment, Susselgrad road cargo station. I think this is the one. Let's just go back, double check it. Yep. That one I will drop out, so you won't be serving that one. We'll serve it from the other side. And then what we'll do is we'll go over here and pop this one in. If I can find what I'm after. Yep. Yeah. Hit pause. We'll pop this one in there. And now... Oh, we just want to kind of move that up again. So... Oh, hang on. Oh, this was the plan, right? Just go back over here and we'll move it there. So, 7. Okay, so now all of these should... Oh, hang on. This guy still needs to add it as well. We'll pop that one in there also, and we'll move it to unload. Did I move it to unload? Oh, no, it's load. Sorry, it's load. And we just want to move it from there. Top there. Okay, perfect. Just double check that I've done that properly. Yeah, it's loading. Okay, so hopefully that does do the trick a little bit. I'm hoping it alleviates some of the pressure off of our distribution network. Obviously, we are building new infrastructure as we go to do that, but we're spanning a little bit far with some of this stuff. So we will have a new distribution facility over here that can help ease the pressure for these areas and that area. So I guess that will help. And then this one will have a lot less to do. But hopefully the additional capacity in here will get more stuff in here. And I think we've got a reasonable distribution network. We might just have to have a look at double checking their loading a little bit. Take a few off of here and add a couple on there or something of that nature. Okay, guys, I will continue that in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.